rhythmic chug-chug of the train echoed through the desolate expanse, its iron wheels grinding against the weathered tracks as it approached Hollow Creek. Emily Thompson, a young train attendant with a penchant for adventure, leaned against the cold metal railing of the caboose, her eyes tracing the horizon where the fading sun cast long, ominous shadows. Wrapped in the embrace of solitude, Hollow Creek seemed like any other forgotten town, its dilapidated buildings and deserted streets whispering tales of a bygone era. However, as Emily disembarked onto the dimly lit platform, a sense of intrigue enveloped her, drawing her towards the mysteries that lurked beneath the surface. During a fleeting moment of respite, an elderly local approached Emily, his weathered face etched with lines of wisdom and despair. "Beware the mechanic's grave," he muttered, his voice trembling with a mixture of fear and reverence. Intrigued, Emily pressed for more details, her curiosity piqued by the cryptic warning. With a solemn nod, the old man shared tales of grease gears, an abandoned mechanic shop shrouded in darkness and despair. "They say old man Jenkins still haunts the place, trapping lost souls within its decaying walls," he whispered, his eyes darting nervously towards the derelict building looming in the distance. Intrigued by the local folklore, Emily felt a surge of adrenaline course through her veins, igniting a spark of curiosity that refused to be extinguished. Folklore or not, she mused, there's a story waiting to be uncovered. The following morning, dressed in casual attire and armed with a notepad and camera, Emily embarked on her quest to unravel the mysteries of grease gears. As she approached the decaying building, a palpable sense of foreboding washed over her, the air thick with an ominous silence broken only by the distant creaking of rusted machinery and the haunting whispers of the past. The workshop's entrance was obscured by overgrown vines and faded memories, its once vibrant facade now a testament to the passage of time and neglect. Undeterred, Emily pushed open the creaking door, revealing a dimly lit interior frozen in time, its walls adorned with rusted tools, faded posters, and ancient cars awaiting repair. As Emily ventured deeper into the workshop, her footsteps echoed ominously against the cold concrete floor, each step echoing the haunting tales that had drawn her here. The air grew colder, and the shadows seemed to dance menacingly, concealing secrets that beckoned her further into the abyss. Suddenly, a faint whisper echoed through the workshop, its chilling refrain sending shivers down Emily's spine. "Leave now," it warned, the voice tinged with desperation and despair. Ignoring the ominous message, Emily pressed on, determined to uncover the truth behind the legends that had captivated her imagination. With each passing moment, the workshop's dark secrets threatened to engulf Emily, the line between reality and myth blurring as she delved deeper into the heart of darkness. Unbeknownst to her, the stage was set for a harrowing journey into the unknown, where the past and present collided and the legend of grease gears came to life. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting Hollow Creek into darkness, Emily stood on the threshold of discovery, ready to confront the mysteries that awaited within the mechanic's grave. Little did she know that her journey had only just begun, setting the stage for a chilling tale of horror, redemption, and the power of the human spirit to overcome the darkest of shadows. The morning sun cast long shadows across the desolate landscape as Emily Thompson approached the decaying facade of grease gears. A sense of foreboding settled over her as she surveyed the dilapidated building, its weathered exterior revealing years of neglect and decay. The once vibrant sign above the entrance had faded, its letters barely legible, a haunting reminder of better days long gone. Taking a deep breath, Emily pushed open the creaking door, the hinges groaning in protest as she stepped into the dimly lit workshop. The air was thick with the scent of oil, gasoline and rust, a potent cocktail that assaulted her senses. A shiver ran down her spine as she felt an invisible presence watching her, the hairs on the back of her neck standing on end. Her eyes slowly adjusted to the gloom, revealing a labyrinthine maze of cluttered workbenches, towering stacks of rusted car parts, and ancient vehicles draped in cobwebs. The flickering overhead lights cast eerie shadows that danced across the walls, playing tricks on her mind and amplifying the oppressive atmosphere. Drawn by an inexplicable force, Emily began to explore the workshop, her footsteps echoing ominously on the cold concrete floor. The silence was deafening, broken only by the occasional drip of water and the distant hum of machinery long past its prime. Every creak, every groan served as a haunting reminder of the building's dark past and the mysteries it held. As she ventured deeper into the workshop, Emily's heart raced, her instincts screaming that she was not alone. The air grew colder with each step, her breath visible in the dim light as she approached a dimly lit corridor obscured by shadows. A sense of dread washed over her as she hesitated, her gut telling her to turn back, but her curiosity urging her forward. Summoning her courage, Emily stepped into the corridor, her eyes straining to penetrate the darkness. The walls seemed to close in around her, the oppressive atmosphere threatening to suffocate her as she pressed on. Suddenly, a faint whisper echoed through the gloom, sending chills down her spine and causing her blood to run cold. "Who's there?" Emily called out, her voice echoing hauntingly as she spun around, searching for the source of the disembodied voice. But the corridor remained silent, save for the distant drip of water and the pounding of her own heart, echoing in her ears. Drawing a deep breath, Emily continued to explore the workshop, her senses heightened as she navigated the maze-like interior. With each passing moment, the feeling of being watched grew stronger, the oppressive atmosphere becoming almost tangible as she delved deeper into the heart of darkness. Suddenly, a soft glow caught Emily's attention, drawing her towards a secluded corner of the workshop. As she approached, she discovered an ancient car draped in shadows, its headlights piercing the gloom like twin beacons in the night. Intrigued, she moved closer, her eyes widening in disbelief as she realized the vehicle's haunting beauty and tragic history. Captivated by the car's eerie allure, Emily felt a strange connection to the vehicle, as if it were beckoning her closer. With trembling hands, she reached out to touch the cold metal, a sense of dread washing over her as she felt a surge of energy course through her veins. Suddenly, the car's headlights flickered to life, casting a brilliant glow that illuminated the workshop and revealed the horrors lurking in the shadows. Frozen in terror, Emily watched in horror as the spirits of the trapped souls materialized before her, their anguished cries filling the air as they reached out for salvation. Realizing the gravity of the situation, she knew she had to confront Old Man Jenkins and put an end to his sinister plot before it was too late. With newfound determination, Emily vowed to uncover the truth behind grease gears and free the trapped souls from their eternal torment, setting the stage for a showdown with Old Man Jenkins that would determine the fate of the haunted mechanic shop and its malevolent legacy. The air in the workshop of grease gears was thick with the scent of oil, rust, and memories long forgotten. As Emily Thompson cautiously navigated the labyrinthine corridors of the decaying mechanic shop, the flickering fluorescent lights cast dancing shadows on the rusted cars and machinery that littered the expansive space. Each step she took echoed hauntingly, resonating with the whispers of lost souls and the creaking of ancient floorboards beneath her feet. Suddenly, a faint, raspy voice pierced the oppressive silence, causing Emily's heart to race. "Lost, are we?" The voice seemed to emanate from the very walls themselves, echoing with an eerie resonance that sent shivers down her spine. Slowly turning around, Emily's eyes met the piercing gaze of Old Man Jenkins, a gaunt figure draped in tattered overalls, his face etched with deep lines of sorrow and madness. "Who are you, and what is this place?" Emily demanded, attempting to mask the tremor in her voice with a facade of confidence. Jenkins chuckled softly, his laughter echoing ominously through the workshop like a haunting melody. "This," he began, gesturing grandly to the decaying surroundings, "is grease gears, my sanctuary, my refuge." As Jenkins spoke, Emily's eyes darted around the workshop, taking in the unsettling sights that surrounded her. Rusted tools lay scattered across workbenches, faded posters adorned the walls, and ancient cars stood as silent witnesses to the dark secrets that lay hidden within the mechanic shop's shadowy depths. "And who might you be?" Jenkins inquired, his eyes narrowing suspiciously as he studied Emily's determined expression. "I'm Emily Thompson," she replied, maintaining her composure despite the palpable tension that hung in the air. "I'm a train attendant, and I've heard tales about this place, about you." Jenkins' eyes flickered with a mixture of curiosity and malevolence as he listened intently to Emily's words, seemingly intrigued by her presence in his sacred sanctuary. With a sigh, Jenkins began to recount his tragic tale, revealing his deep-rooted obsession with preserving greasy Asian's gears as a shrine to his deceased wife Eliza. He spoke of their shared love for mechanics, their dream of restoring the shop to its former glory, and the devastating loss that drove him to madness. "I couldn't let go," Jenkins whispered, his voice quivering with emotion. "So I bound their souls to this place, to the cars, to the machinery, to keep Eliza's memory alive." As Jenkins' confession unfolded, Emily felt a profound sense of empathy for the tormented soul standing before her. Yet she knew she couldn't allow his dark obsession to continue unchecked. Steeling herself for the confrontation that lay ahead, Emily vowed to uncover the truth behind grease gears and to free the trapped souls from their eternal torment. As the echoes of Jenkins' haunting confession faded into silence, Emily's determination solidified, setting the stage for a harrowing battle between light and darkness, redemption and damnation. Little did she know that her quest for truth would lead her deeper into the heart of darkness, where the past and present intertwined in a chilling dance of fate and destiny. With a resolute nod, Emily prepared to confront Old Man Jenkins and to unravel the sinister secrets that lay hidden within the mechanic shop's decaying walls. The stage was set, and the final act of this haunting tale was about to unfold, propelling Emily into a world of terror, mystery, and redemption beyond her wildest imagination. The dim light filtering through the grimy windows cast eerie shadows across the cluttered workshop of grease gears. Emily Thompson cautiously navigated through the labyrinthine corridors, each step echoing ominously against the rusted floorboards. The air grew colder with each passing moment, and a sense of dread settled over her like a suffocating blanket. As Emily ventured deeper into the heart of the mechanic shop, she sensed a palpable shift in the atmosphere. The distant hum of machinery gave way to an unsettling silence, punctuated only by the faint whispers that seemed to emanate from the very walls themselves. "Who's there?" she called out, her voice trembling with a mixture of fear and curiosity. No sooner had the words escaped her lips than a chorus of ethereal voices responded, their haunting melodies weaving a tapestry of sorrow and despair. "Help us," one voice pleaded, its spectral timbre resonating with an otherworldly resonance. "We've been trapped here for eternity, bound to these decaying machines by Old Man Jenkins' dark rituals." Drawn toward the source of the mournful cries, Emily discovered a series of dilapidated cars arranged in a semicircle around a makeshift altar adorned with faded photographs and cryptic symbols. Each vehicle bore the scars of neglect, their once gleaming surfaces marred by rust and decay. As she approached, the whispers grew louder, their words forming a chilling narrative of tragedy and loss. "Listen closely," a disembodied voice whispered, guiding Emily's gaze toward a vintage sedan covered in dust and cobwebs. "I was once a vibrant soul full of life and passion." The voice continued, recounting a tale of love and betrayal, that ended in untimely death and eternal torment. Moved by the spirit's tragic tale, Emily vowed to uncover the truth behind Old Man Jenkins' sinister plot. With trembling hands, she reached out to touch the vintage sedan, her fingers grazing the cold metal surface. As her skin made contact, a surge of energy coursed through her veins, unlocking memories and emotions that transcended time and space. Images flashed before her eyes, revealing the car's former owner and their ill-fated love affair with Jenkins' deceased wife, Eliza. The narrative unfolded, weaving a tale of jealousy, obsession, and revenge that culminated in a series of dark rituals designed to trap lost souls within the mechanic shop's decaying walls. Realizing the gravity of the situation, Emily knew she must confront Old Man Jenkins and disrupt his malevolent schemes before more innocent souls fell victim to his twisted obsessions. With renewed determination, she set out to unravel the mysteries of grease gears, guided by the whispers from beyond and fueled by a relentless desire to bring justice to the trapped spirits and restore balance to the haunted mechanic shop. As Emily ventured further into the shadows, the chilling whispers grew louder, leading her toward a climactic confrontation with Old Man Jenkins and his legion of spectral minions. Armed with newfound knowledge and unwavering courage, she prepared to face her darkest fears and confront the malevolent forces that sought to claim her soul and perpetuate their reign of terror for eternity. In this pivotal chapter, The narrative reaches a haunting crescendo, setting the stage for a suspenseful showdown between Emily Thompson and the forces of darkness that lurk within the depths of Greece. Greece in the depths of Grease Gears. Will she succeed in freeing the trapped souls and thwarting Old Man Jenkins' sinister plot, or will she become the next victim in this chilling tale of horror and redemption? Only time will tell as the story unfolds, drawing readers deeper into the twisted labyrinth of the mechanic shop's haunted past and uncertain future. The workshop's eerie ambience intensified as Emily's determined footsteps echoed through the dimly lit space. The air grew colder and a sense of foreboding settled over her as she approached Old Man Jenkins, who stood amidst a collection of rusted tools and decaying machinery. "Release them," Emily's voice quivered, echoing off the workshop's walls, her eyes locked onto Jenkins with unwavering resolve. In response, Jenkins' laughter filled the air, a chilling sound that sent shivers down her spine. "You dare challenge me," Jenkins sneered, his eyes gleaming with malevolent intent. With a wave of his hand, the workshop shadows began to stir, coalescing into ethereal forms that lurched toward Emily with unnatural speed. As the spectral figures closed in, Emily brandished a rusted wrench, swinging it with calculated precision, disrupting the spirit's advance. With each strike, a burst of ethereal energy dispersed, illuminating the workshop in a spectral glow. "Your tricks won't save you," Emily shouted, her voice echoing defiantly amidst the chaos. As she continued to fend off the relentless spirits, Jenkins retreated, his once confident demeanor replaced by a look of desperation. Suddenly, a piercing scream echoed through the workshop, causing Emily to freeze in her tracks. Turning around, she witnessed a spectral figure materializing before her, its hollow eyes filled with anguish. "Help me!" it pleaded, reaching out with ethereal hands. Moved by the spirit's sorrowful plea, Emily's resolve solidified. With a fierce battle cry, she charged forward, wrench in hand, disrupting Jenkins' dark rituals and freeing the trapped soul from its eternal torment. As the spirit dissipated into the ether, a wave of energy surged through the workshop, destabilizing Jenkins' hold over the trapped souls. Seizing the opportunity, Emily unleashed a relentless assault on the remaining spirits, her movements fluid and precise. With each strike, the workshop echoed with the sound of shattering ethereal energy, signaling her progress in disrupting Jenkins' malevolent plot. As the last spirit fell, Jenkins' defiant laughter echoed through the workshop, a final act of desperation in the face of defeat. "You may have won this battle," he snarled, "but the war is far from over." Undeterred, Emily advanced toward Jenkins, her eyes filled with determination. With a swift motion, she raised her wrench high above her head, ready to deliver the final blow. "This ends now," she declared, her voice echoing with finality. As the wrench descended, a blinding light engulfed the workshop, illuminating the darkness and dispelling the lingering shadows. When the light faded, Emily stood alone amidst the decaying machinery, Jenkins' malevolent presence vanquished, and the trapped souls freed from their eternal prison. Exhausted but victorious, Emily emerged from the workshop, carrying with her the haunting memories of her harrowing confrontation with Old Man Jenkins. Little did she know that her ordeal was just the beginning, setting the stage for future adventures in the realms of the supernatural. In this pivotal chapter, Emily Thompson's courage and determination shine as she confronts Old Man Jenkins, battles malevolent spirits, and ultimately triumphs over darkness, leaving readers eagerly awaiting the next chapter in this chilling tale of horror and redemption. The dim glow of the overhead lights cast long, distorted shadows across the workshop floor as Emily Thompson clutched the rusted wrench tightly in her trembling hands. The air grew thick with tension, punctuated by the fading cries of the freed souls echoing through the decaying building. Each step she took seemed to reverberate through the haunted mechanic shop, amplifying the oppressive atmosphere that clung to her like a second skin. Emily's heart pounded in her chest, a relentless drumbeat driving her forward as she navigated the labyrinthine corridors of greaser gears. The walls seemed to close in around her, lined with rusted tools and faded posters that bore witness to decades of forgotten memories. The distant sound of creaking metal echoed through the darkness, a haunting reminder of Old Man Jenkins' malevolent presence lurking in the shadows. As she ventured deeper into the workshop, Emily's senses heightened, attuned to every subtle shift in the environment. The faint scent of oil and decay permeated the air, mingling with the chilling whispers that beckoned her further into the heart of darkness. Her flashlight flickered ominously, casting fleeting glimpses of spectral figures that darted in and out of her field of vision, taunting her with their ethereal presence. With each passing moment, Emily's determination grew, fueled by the haunting tales of the trapped souls and the relentless pursuit of justice. Her footsteps echoed with purpose, a rhythmic cadence that resonated through the deserted workshop, drowning out the lingering echoes of Old Man Jenkins' sinister laughter. The wrench felt heavy in her grasp, a symbol of her unwavering resolve to confront the darkness and emerge victorious. Suddenly, a chilling gust of wind swept through the workshop, extinguishing Emily's flashlight and plunging her into total darkness. Panic surged through her veins, but she refused to succumb to fear. Relying on her instincts and the faint glimmer of moonlight filtering through a broken window to guide her path, the shadows seemed to come alive, twisting and contorting into grotesque shapes that loomed ominously in the periphery of her vision. Drawing upon her courage, Emily pressed on, navigating the treacherous maze of grease gears with unwavering determination. Her senses heightened, attuned to the subtle nuances of the environment as she evaded spectral obstacles and navigated hidden passageways. With each passing moment, the oppressive atmosphere lifted, replaced by a newfound sense of clarity and purpose. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, Emily emerged from the depths of the haunted mechanic shop, gasping for breath as she stepped into the cool night air. The oppressive darkness receded, replaced by the soft glow of the moonlight illuminating the decaying facade of grease, gears. Turning one last time to face the abandoned workshop, she vowed to share its haunting tale with the world, a testament to her courage and resilience in the face of unspeakable horror. As Emily walked away, the echoes of her harrowing ordeal lingered, a haunting reminder of the darkness that once consumed grease gears. Yet, despite the lingering shadows, her triumphant escape signaled a new beginning, setting the stage for future adventures and ensuring that the tales of Old Man Jenkins and the haunted mechanic shop would never be forgotten. In this climactic chapter, Emily Thompson's journey reaches its thrilling conclusion, culminating in a heart-stopping escape from the depths of grease gears and solidifying her legacy as a fearless explorer of the supernatural. The evening mist rolled in from the sea, casting an ethereal veil around the looming mansion perched atop the fog-shrouded cliffs of Maine. Eleanor Sinclair stood at the wrought iron gates, her heart echoing the sombre rhythm of crashing waves below. The weight of memories, long buried and hauntingly familiar, pressed upon her as she hesitated before pushing the rusted gates open. They creaked ominously, as if protesting her return. The cobblestone path leading to the mansion was overgrown with twisted ivy and brambles, nature's attempt to reclaim what man had long since abandoned. The once grand edifice now stood as a haunting relic of a bygone era, its stone facade weathered by time and neglect. Winged gargoyles perched on the corners of the slate roof, their stone eyes seemingly following Eleanor's every move, guardians to a realm of secrets and shadows. As she approached the entrance, the massive wooden doors groaned open of their own accord, revealing a dimly lit foyer adorned with faded tapestries and cobwebbed chandeliers. The air was thick with the scent of must and decay, a stagnant perfume that spoke of long-held secrets and restless spirits. A chilling draught whispered through the hall, carrying with it an eerie melody that seemed to emanate from the very walls themselves. "Welcome back, Miss Sinclair," a voice echoed from the shadows, drawing Eleanor's gaze to the stooped figure of Mr. Jenkins, the caretaker. His wrinkled face was etched with lines of age and wisdom, his eyes clouded with a mixture of reverence and fear. "We've been expecting you." Eleanor nodded, swallowing the lump that had formed in her throat. "It's been a long time, Jenkins," she replied, her voice tinged with a mixture of nostalgia and trepidation. Her fingers instinctively brushed the locket around her neck, a tangible connection to the past she had tried so desperately to forget. Ignoring the caretaker's probing gaze, Eleanor turned her attention to Miss Lydia, the mansion's enigmatic librarian, who stood silhouetted against the flickering torchlight. Tall and statuesque with a presence that commanded attention, Miss Lydia offered only a cryptic smile, her lips stained with the shadows of secrets untold. "You've grown since last we met, Eleanor," she murmured, her voice as soft as the whispering wind. Yet something remains unchanged, a lingering echo of the child who once roamed these halls with wild abandon. Eleanor felt a shiver run down her spine, a chill that had nothing to do with the cold draught seeping through the cracked windows. The weight of the past bore down upon her, threatening to crush her resolve, yet she squared her shoulders, steeling herself against the rising tide of fear and doubt. "I'm here to uncover the truth," Eleanor declared, her voice resonating with newfound determination. "Whatever secrets this mansion holds, whatever darkness resides within its walls, I will expose it." The room fell silent, save for the haunting melody that seemed to grow louder with each passing moment. Eleanor felt as though she was standing at the threshold of a nightmare, teetering on the edge of an abyss that threatened to consume her whole. Yet she knew there was no turning back, not when the answers she sought lay hidden in the heart of the mansion that had haunted her dreams for so long. As the last rays of twilight faded into the embrace of night, Eleanor stepped further into the foyer, the echoes of the past beckoning her deeper into the labyrinthine corridors of her childhood home. Little did she know that the shadows that danced upon the walls were not merely figments of her imagination, but harbingers of the horrors that awaited her in the chapters yet unwritten. Thus begins Eleanor Sinclair's descent into darkness, a journey of discovery and despair that will test her sanity, challenge her beliefs, and ultimately lead her to confront the haunting legacy of her family's twisted past. And as the mansion's secrets slowly unravel, Eleanor must steel herself for the revelation that some doors once opened can never be closed again. The heavy oak door groaned in protest as Eleanor pushed it open, revealing a grand foyer adorned with faded tapestries and dust-laden chandeliers. The scent of age and decay permeated the air, mingling with the musty aroma of old books and lingering memories. Mr. Jenkins, the caretaker, stood with a stoic expression, his eyes betraying a hint of unease as he welcomed her to the place she once called home. "Miss Sinclair," he began, his voice trembling ever so slightly, "the mansion has awaited your return, though I fear what you may uncover." Eleanor nodded, masking her apprehension with a facade of determination. "Thank you, Mr. Jenkins. I intend to uncover the truth, no matter how dark it may be." With a curt nod, Mr. Jenkins retreated, leaving Eleanor alone in the echoing silence of the grand hallway. She took a deep breath, steeling herself for the journey ahead, and began her exploration of the labyrinthine mansion. Her footsteps echoed ominously as she wandered through dimly lit corridors lined with portraits of stern-faced ancestors and forgotten memories. The walls seemed to whisper secrets, their intricate wainscoting hiding tales of love, betrayal, and unspeakable horrors. Eleanor's fingers grazed the carved wood, feeling a cold shiver crawl up her spine with each touch. As she ventured deeper into the mansion, Eleanor discovered a hidden doorway concealed behind a faded tapestry. With bated breath, she pushed it open, revealing a forbidden library frozen in time. Dust motes danced in the muted sunlight filtering through cracked windows, illuminating rows of ancient books, crumbling manuscripts, and arcane artifacts. Drawn to a weathered tome bound in faded leather, Eleanor felt a strange pull, as if the book held the key to unlocking the mansion's darkest secrets. She traced her fingers over the intricate symbols etched into its cover and carefully opened it, revealing handwritten pages filled with cryptic incantations and chilling accounts of supernatural phenomena. Lost in her discovery, Eleanor failed to notice Miss Lydia, the elderly librarian, watching her from the shadowy corners of the room. With a hushed whisper, Miss Lydia approached, her eyes betraying a mixture of curiosity and concern. "Ah, the Sinclair legacy, Mrs." Lydia murmured, her voice quivering with age. "You tread dangerous ground, Miss Sinclair. The past has a way of haunting the present." Eleanor looked up, meeting Mrs. Lydia's gaze with a defiant glare. "I've come too far to turn back now. Tell me what you know." With a resigned sigh, Mrs. Lydia began to unravel fragments of the mansion's dark history, weaving a tale of Victor Mortis's malevolent reign, forbidden rituals, and Clara's fateful encounter with the supernatural. As the chilling revelations unfolded, Eleanor realized the depth of the darkness she was up against. As night fell, Eleanor's exploration led her deeper into the mansion's depths, uncovering hidden chambers, secret passages, and a series of cryptic symbols scattered throughout the estate. Each discovery intensified her resolve to confront the looming evil and uncover the truth behind her sister's disappearance. Yet, as she delved deeper, Eleanor couldn't shake the feeling that something was watching her, lurking in the shadows, waiting for the right moment to strike. The line between reality and nightmare blurred, and a sense of dread enveloped her, signaling the beginning of a harrowing journey into the heart of darkness. As the clock struck midnight, Eleanor realized that time was running out. With the mansion's dark secrets closing in around her, she vowed to solve the mystery, confront the malevolent force haunting the estate, and uncover the truth behind Clara's disappearance, no matter the cost. The stage was set, and stakes were higher than ever. Eleanor's journey had only just begun, and the horrors that awaited her would test her courage, resilience, and sanity as she navigated the twisted labyrinth of the past and confronted the malevolent entity lurking within the shadows of the wainscoted walls. The mansion seemed to exhale as Eleanor Sinclair delved further into its depths, its ancient timbers creaking with an almost sentient malevolence. Each step she took upon the aged floorboards echoed through the expansive halls, a solemn reminder of the secrets they concealed. Guided by the dim glow of her lantern, Eleanor's journey led her to a secluded study untouched by time and forgotten by history. The study was a sanctuary of shadows, illuminated only by the flickering light of Eleanor's lantern. Walls lined with towering bookshelves filled with decaying tomes and ancient manuscripts whispered tales of arcane rituals and forbidden knowledge. At the center of the room, an ornate wooden desk stood as a silent sentinel, its surface cluttered with yellowed letters, aged journals, and a flickering candle that danced with ethereal flames. Drawn to the desk, Eleanor's trembling hands reached for a stack of letters bound with a silk ribbon, their delicate pages bearing witness to her sister Clara's desperate quest for truth. The letters unveiled Clara's haunting accounts of spectral apparitions, mysterious rituals, and Victor Mortis's sinister influence over the mansion and its inhabitants. Each word resonated with raw emotion, painting a harrowing portrait of Clara's relentless pursuit of the dark secrets lurking within the wainscoting. As Eleanor immersed herself in Clara's writings, a sense of dread washed over her, the chilling realization dawning that her sister had ventured further into the abyss than she ever could have imagined. The letters spoke of hidden chambers concealed behind the intricately carved wainscoting where Victor Mortis conducted his malevolent rituals, binding innocent souls to fuel his insatiable hunger for power. Driven by a mix of curiosity and determination, Eleanor continued her exploration, discovering a hidden compartment beneath the desk's drawer. With bated breath, she opened the compartment, revealing a leather-bound journal bearing Clara's trembling handwriting. The journal detailed Clara's final days in the mansion, her encounters with Victor Mortis's vengeful spirit, and her discovery of a cursed amulet believed to hold the key to breaking the mansion's sinister hold. As Eleanor read Clara's desperate pleas for salvation, a haunting melody echoed through the study, its mournful notes resonating with sorrow and despair. The spectral presence of Victor Mortis materialized before her, his malevolent gaze piercing the veil of reality, locking eyes with Eleanor in a chilling confrontation that transcended time and space. "Welcome back, Eleanor," Victor's voice echoed with a sinister resonance, his spectral form radiating an aura of malevolent power. "Your sister's resilience was admirable, but ultimately futile. Join her in eternal torment, or abandon your quest and flee while you still can." Refusing to succumb to fear, Eleanor confronted Victor Mortis, armed with Clara's journal and a newfound determination to expose the mansion's dark secrets. Their dialogue unfolded like a deadly dance, with Victor's cryptic taunts and chilling revelations fueling Eleanor's resolve to confront the spectral tyrant and reclaim her sister's lost soul. As the confrontation reached its climax, Eleanor's lantern flickered violently, casting long shadows that danced upon the walls, mirroring her internal struggle between light and darkness. With Victor Mortis's spectral form looming closer, Eleanor unleashed a desperate cry, channeling her grief, anger, and determination into a radiant burst of energy that shattered the mansion's cursed facade, revealing a path to salvation concealed within its haunted halls. Gasping for breath, Eleanor clutched Clara's journal tightly, vowing to honour her sister's memory and confront Victor Mortis's malevolent influence once and for all. As she ventured deeper into the mansion's depths, guided by Clara's writings and a flickering lantern's dwindling light, Eleanor's journey towards truth and redemption continued, with the fate of her sister's lost soul hanging in the balance. The study fell silent once more, its haunting melodies fading into whispers carried away by the chilling winds that swept through the mansion's shattered windows. Yet, within the shadows that lingered, the spectral presence of Victor Mortis watched with malevolent eyes, plotting his next move in a deadly game of cat and mouse that would ultimately decide Eleanor's fate and the legacy of the cursed mansion upon the fog-shrouded cliffs of Maine. The mansion's once grand corridors now seemed like twisting labyrinths, echoing with whispers that slithered through the air like serpents in the shadows. Eleanor Sinclair could feel the weight of Victor Mortis's malevolent gaze upon her, a chilling reminder that she was not alone in her pursuit of the truth. With each step, the intricate wooden wainscoting seemed to leer menacingly, as if mocking her resolve. As Eleanor ventured deeper into the heart of darkness, the atmosphere grew increasingly oppressive, suffocating her with an overwhelming sense of dread. The air was thick with the scent of decay and rot, a foul miasma that seemed to seep from the very walls themselves. The flickering candlelight cast unsettling shadows that danced and flickered like restless spirits, leading her further into the abyss. Her exploration led her to a forgotten wing of the mansion, where time seemed to stand still. Dust-covered portraits of long-dead ancestors lined the walls, their eyes following her every move with cold, lifeless stares. The silence was deafening, broken only by the haunting sound of a grandfather clock ticking away the seconds, each chime echoing like a death knell. As Eleanor pressed on, she stumbled upon a hidden chamber concealed behind a tapestry depicting scenes of a bygone era. With trembling hands, she pushed aside the heavy fabric, revealing a secret passage shrouded in darkness. Steeling herself, she lit a lantern and descended into the depths below, the cold stone steps groaning beneath her feet as if protesting her intrusion. The passage twisted and turned, leading her further into the bowels of the mansion. The oppressive darkness pressed in around her, threatening to swallow her whole. Whispers echoed through the narrow confines of the tunnel, growing louder and more insistent with each passing moment. Yet Eleanor's determination never wavered, fueled by an unyielding desire to uncover the truth. As she navigated the labyrinthine depths, Eleanor encountered chilling reminders of Victor Mortis's sinister influence. Macabre symbols adorned the walls, illuminated by the flickering lantern light, hinting at unspeakable rituals and dark rites. The air grew colder with each step, sending shivers down her spine as she ventured further into the abyss. Suddenly, the passage opened into a vast, cavernous chamber bathed in an eerie crimson glow. The chamber was adorned with arcane symbols and ritualistic artifacts arranged in a grotesque tableau that defied comprehension. At the center of the chamber stood an ornate altar, upon which lay a tattered journal bound in human skin. With trepidation, Eleanor approached the altar and retrieved the journal, its pages filled with cryptic incantations and disturbing sketches depicting Victor Mortis's malevolent deeds. As she read, a sense of dread washed over her, realizing the depth of the darkness she was up against. Suddenly, a chilling wind swept through the chamber, extinguishing her lantern and plunging her into darkness. Whispers surrounded her, growing louder and more frenzied with each passing second. Then a haunting voice echoed through the shadows, filling the chamber with an oppressive aura of malevolence. "Welcome, Eleanor," Victor Mortis's spectral voice whispered, sending a shiver down her spine. "I've been expecting you." In that moment, Eleanor realized that she was trapped in a deadly game of cat and mouse with a vengeful spirit hell-bent on claiming her soul. With her lantern extinguished and Victor Mortis's malevolent presence closing in, she knew that her descent into darkness had only just begun. The mansion's oppressive atmosphere thickened as Eleanor Sinclair ventured deeper into its shadowed corridors, the very air she breathed feeling laden with the weight of centuries, old secrets. The flickering candlelight cast dancing shadows upon the walls. the muted glow barely illuminating the ornate yet decaying wainscoting that seemed to close in around her with each step. A distant, haunting melody echoed through the halls, a mournful piano tune that seemed to emanate from the very heart of the mansion. Eleanor's heartbeat quickened, recognizing the melody as a lullaby her mother used to sing, its sweet notes now twisted into a sinister refrain that sent shivers down her spine. With each step, the temperature dropped, the chill seeping into Eleanor's bones as she approached the grand ballroom. The ornate double doors stood slightly ajar, revealing an ethereal glow that beckoned her forward. Pushing the doors open, she entered the vast, moonlit ballroom, its grandeur juxtaposed with an overwhelming sense of desolation. At the far end of the ballroom, beneath a crumbling chandelier swaying gently with an otherworldly breeze, stood Victor Mortis. Clad in an antiquated suit, his pale eyes gleamed with malevolent intent, locking on to Eleanor's with an unsettling familiarity. Surrounding him, ghostly apparitions danced in a macabre waltz, their hollow eyes fixed upon Eleanor as they beckoned her to join. "Ah, Eleanor," Victor's voice echoed through the ballroom, cold and calculated. "You've come so far, yet you still fail to see the truth before you." Summoning courage she never knew she possessed, Eleanor confronted Victor, her voice steady despite the palpable fear coursing through her veins. "You won't deceive me any longer, Mortis. I know what you've done, and I won't let you harm anyone else." A chilling laugh echoed through the ballroom as Victor stepped forward, his spectral form flickering with each movement. "Brave words, dear Eleanor, but futile nonetheless. You cannot begin to comprehend the power I wield, the legacy I built upon the suffering of others." As Victor spoke, the ballroom transformed around them, morphing into a nightmarish tableau depicting moments from Eleanor's past. The walls bled memories, each droplet forming vivid scenes of joy, sorrow, and unspeakable horror. Amongst the haunting visions, Eleanor caught glimpses of Clara, her younger sister's laughter echoing hauntingly as she reached out for help. With renewed determination, Eleanor confronted Victor, wielding knowledge as her weapon. "You may control this mansion, Mortis, but you can't control the truth. Clara didn't just vanish. You took her, trapped her within these walls." Victor's facade wavered, a flicker of uncertainty crossing his spectral features. "She was but a pawn in my grand design, a sacrifice to maintain my grip upon this world. Yet you, Eleanor, you threaten everything I've built." As the tension reached its breaking point, Eleanor's resolve solidified, fueled by memories of Clara and a desire for justice. With a defiant shout, she confronted Victor, wielding a sacred talisman passed down through generations, its radiant glow dispelling the darkness and weakening Victor's spectral form. The ensuing battle of wills shook the very foundations of the mansion, with Eleanor's unwavering resolve pitted against Victor's malevolent power. With each confrontation, the balance shifted, the tide turning in a climactic struggle between light and darkness. As dawn approached, the mansion's malevolent influence waned, its dark secrets exposed and Victor Mortis's spectral form dissipated, banished once and for all. Gasping for breath, Eleanor emerged victorious, her journey through darkness culminating in a hard-fought redemption. Exhausted yet empowered, Eleanor vowed to honor Clara's memory, ensuring that the mansion's dark legacy would be remembered and its horrors never forgotten. As she stepped out into the dawn light, the once imposing mansion stood silent, its secrets laid bare, and its curse finally lifted, bringing closure to a chapter of unspeakable horror and a newfound hope for the future. The cold grasp of darkness began to recede as the first faint streaks of dawn painted the horizon. Eleanor Sinclair, dishevelled and wearied by her harrowing ordeal within the mansion's suffocating walls, emerged into the muted light, her eyes reflecting the haunting memories that would forever be etched in her soul. The once imposing edifice now stood as a crumbling relic, its malevolent secrets laid bare, its dark legacy unravelled. With each step away from the mansion, Eleanor felt the weight of the past slowly lifting, replaced by a profound sense of closure and redemption. The chilling whispers, spectral apparitions, and relentless horrors that had pursued her seemed to dissipate with the morning mist, their power waning as the truth triumphed over deceit. As she paused to glance back at the mansion, Eleanor's gaze settled upon the crumbling facade where she had confronted Victor Mortis, the malevolent entity whose vengeful spirit had cast a shadow over her life. The memories of their climactic battle of wills sent a shiver down her spine, yet she felt a newfound strength coursing through her veins, fueled by determination and resilience. The mansion's once grandiose architecture now lay in ruins, its decaying walls bearing witness to decades of darkness and despair. Ivy-clad stones crumbled beneath the weight of time. Twisted oak trees stood as silent sentinels guarding its cursed grounds, and the cemetery's weathered tombstones whispered tales of sorrow and loss. Yet amid the desolation, Eleanor sensed a glimmer of hope, a flicker of light piercing the pervasive gloom. Drawing a deep breath, Eleanor turned away from the crumbling mansion, her footsteps echoing softly on the dew-kissed grass. With each step, she felt the shackles of the past falling away, replaced by a renewed sense of purpose and resolve. The haunting memories of her sister Clara, the traumatic events that had shaped her life, and the relentless pursuit of truth had led her down a path fraught with danger and despair. Yet, through courage and perseverance, she had emerged victorious, bringing light to the shadows and ending the cycle of horror that had plagued her family for generations. As the sun rose higher in the sky, casting its golden rays upon the world below, Eleanor felt a sense of peace wash over her. The darkness that had once consumed her soul was now replaced by the warm embrace of redemption, and the haunting whispers that had tormented her were silenced forever. In that moment, Eleanor knew that she had not only uncovered the truth behind her sister's disappearance, but had also conquered the demons that had sought to destroy her. With a final glance back at the crumbling mansion, Eleanor stepped into the light, leaving behind the darkness that had plagued her for so long. As she walked away, the mansion stood silent, its secrets exposed, its malevolent spirit vanquished. Yet, as the morning sun bathed the world in its radiant glow, Eleanor knew that the journey was far from over, for the scars of the past would forever remain, a reminder of the horrors she had faced and the strength she had gained. But for now, Eleanor Sinclair walked forward, embracing the promise of a new beginning, determined to live her life free from the shadows of the past. And as the haunting echoes of the mansion faded into the distance, she knew that she would never forget the lessons she had learned, the courage she had discovered, and the redemption she had achieved. For in facing her darkest fears, Eleanor had found the strength to conquer the darkness and embrace the light, forever altering the course of her destiny.